Did you know that Needham High has its very own official rocketry club? There's a pretty good chance that you did not. Today I am here to share with you the highs and the lows of the 2022 to 2023 NHS Rocketry Club season, and why this is the most interesting club that is already dead.
I'm Sam Mazaris. I am the president of the Rocketry Club here at Needham High School.
So my name is Ms. Cadvieco, and I am the teacher advisor for the Rocketry Club.
Why do you think that rocketry is important?
To me, rocketry has a lot of significance just because my family has a pretty strong background in engineering. My brother founded the club and I took up the role as president when I was a sophomore. I think it builds a nice community. There's a lot of challenge in designing it that requires a lot of teamwork, and so that helps bring the people together, and it's just a fun thing to do.
Local boy green all over. Green. Lovely.
So that first year, 2018-2019, we had a team that competed that built a rocket. It was a fun adventure trying to find places to launch. We tried to launch at Claxon Field, and we got several rockets. One of them stuck in a tree at the dump.
2, 1.
Oh, one of the parachutes didn't deploy on the,
In my time in the club, my first season was when I was a freshman.
In 2019-2020, the competition was suspended at the end of the year due to COVID.
We got a single launch done in the upper lot here at Needham High School. It was not ideal conditions, and then shortly thereafter, COVID happened.
The next year we didn't have a team because clubs weren't meeting in person and we weren't really able to do anything.
Last year was our first year back after COVID, so 2 years of not doing the competition, and it was definitely a little bumpy.
This is for the news segment when we get on the...
Yeah, we had our fair share of ups and downs.
Okay, I'm not videoing that. This is for our rocket. It looks really bad.
What are you talking about? It looks good.
We had a rocket. Originally wrote down that the length requirement was a maximum length requirement, not a minimum length requirement, and so we had to completely redesign the rocket pretty late into the competition, and so we ended up not doing too well.
And so it comes to an end.
Hello, my name is Jack and I will be the person behind the camera for the length of this video. I'm here right now to explain to you the complicated nature of rocket science. This is a rocket. On the bottom here, that's where the motor goes. That's the part that explodes and makes it go up. It splits apart right here, and a parachute comes out. That should be there. The Needham Rocketry Club competes in a competition known as TARC, or the American Rocketry Challenge. This is a national competition in which they send out specifications and parameters to every team, and each team must design, build, and launch a rocket to fit these parameters. This year, the rocket had to be about yay big, had to go 850 feet in the air and be in the air from 42 to 45 seconds. The following will be the chronicles of our journey to submitting our qualification launches, or our real, officially scored launches. The top 100 qualification flights then get to go to nationals, in which they compete one more time to hopefully take home the grand prize. Our story begins in the bright town of Acton, Massachusetts for our first launch.
Way to go, Logan.
I gotta get this.
There you go.
Alright, we on.
Gabe, come here. interviewing you. So what's the story with this launch?
All right. We're the underdogs, baby. No one believes in us, all right?
So we got one launch thing on the rail. We're
got
supposed
one
to
rail
have
thing?
two. We have no altimeter, so we have no idea how high it's going to go. And
There might be a problem with the parachute, too.
yeah, the parachutes are going to get tangled. The motor is going to get stuck after this, so this is going to be our only launch.
The odds are stacked against us, but we're going to prove them wrong.
So clearly things went a little poorly at our first launch. The rocket you see before you took about 3 months to design and construct. Even still, we arrived quite unprepared and the results of our first launch were quite poor.
Uh-oh.
It's okay though, because how TARC works is that you can have unlimited practice launches. Once you are ready, the launch you declare as your real qualification launch will actually get scored and submitted. How it is scored is you get a point from every foot off you are from 850 and 4 points for every second you are off from the range. Lowest score wins. Oh, and the egg that's inside the rocket has to stay intact.
Oh, we scrambled. Oh.
After this, we took some time at Walden Pond to reflect upon the journey to come.
The happy-go-lucky character. This is awesome. She's happy and happy-go-lucky.
Do you want to talk about each launch?
This year?
Do you remember what happened at each launch that we went to?
Sure, I think so. For the first launch, we did not have very many motor. Oh no, the first launch our altimeter didn't work. And so we only got one launch in just to see if the timing was right, and it was pretty perfect, which was a huge success because in previous years just about nothing had been right about our rocket. And then the launch after that, we bought some new motors.
3, 2, 1, launch.
Hey, that's actually working. I mean, it's spinning, but it's falling slower than it did that one time. There it is. Man.
The rocket came up pretty short.
What Sam is doing right now is he's reading the altimeter. He's confused at the results. He's getting the snow over his feet.
About 100 feet short. And so that was less than ideal. So we did a launch or two then, and then ordered some new motors. And then at that launch,
This is my Let's Play. Hey guys,
So what's
welcome.
happening?
This is my first episode of, alright, this is how to assemble the rocket here, alright?
This guy's really a natural.
And why do we need to know how to assemble the rocket ship?
Unfortunately, I will not be able to make the launch in 2 weeks, but the motors...
What he's saying is he won't be able to experience greatness.
That too, yeah, that was the... Yeah, alright, it doesn't really matter that much, the steps. I usually do parachutes first.
Basically, what happened was we were all set and ready for this third launch to be our real and final launch where we submitted our scores. Unfortunately, the new, more powerful motors that we had ordered for the launch didn't arrive in time, thanks FedEx. The other issue was that the next time we could launch, Sam was going to be in Texas, and he was the guy who pretty much ran the show. This meant that he had to teach us all how to prepare the rocket and do everything for the fourth launch, which is also the last opportunity we had to get a good launch, so we had to make it good. Don't we explosive charge?
Hey, where's my explosive charge?
Don't we put the explosive charge in next? What about the egg?
Next we put in our pyrotechnics that are not included with the motor.
Okay.
Wait a minute.
Oh.
Alright,
Give me a pyrotechnic, would you?
this part's easy. You can,
So the Rocketry Club is ending, at least for now, because all of the current students or the current active members are all seniors and graduating. It would be interesting to see if the Rocketry Club comes back in the future. I am not able to advise it in the future. I just had a baby and my time commitments are changing, but having the students that kind of know about the rocketry contest competition and things like that has kept the club going for the 5 years that it's gone so far.
As we arrived at the scene of our final launch, tensions were high. As soon as we stepped out, there was one clear and present issue. The wind. The wind had always been a factor, but today it was blowing at about 20 miles per hour constant, with gusts up to 35. Watch closely at this practice launch. Look at the direction the tail of the rocket goes. The rocket shot up and curved straight into the direction the wind was going. Here's my explanation. So basically, our theory is that as the rocket goes up, instead of the wind, so the wind's blowing really strong this way, and so instead of the rocket landing this way, since the center of pressure is above the center, or the center of mass is above the center of pressure or something, it's making it tilt this way. It's kind of taking out the bottom. And so once it tilts this way, it just kept tilting and tilting. And if you look at the video, it's actually accelerating downwards at a certain point. So it was about 100 or 200 feet short and like 10 seconds too quick. So we got to address that, and then maybe it'll go the right way. We didn't have a choice. Today was the last day we could launch. We had to do our official qualification launches. Here we go.
Yeah, oh, that's going to the trees. That is gone into the trees. Well, hopefully it doesn't break.
Over there. Barbed wire. This is ridiculous. This could not have gotten worse.
He ripped that down with his bare hands.
He defaced public property.
Stick it down there. Alright, you're good.
gonna fin.
Amen to that.
Well, I've done the best job I can in repairing, but it's not looking good.
You can launch it, it's just gonna blow
We're
up.
gonna launch it, and we're gonna watch it blow up. So here's the issue.
Might as well.
That sequence that you just viewed took about 2 hours to take place. It was now about 2:45 and the launch window was closing. We had to get it done by 3 o'clock. I repaired the rocket to the best of my ability, gluing the fin back on and the parachute back into the body of the rocket, but it was a pretty shoddy job, and in order to qualify we had to have 2 qualification launches. So we decided to just shoot it up and see what would happen.
I just wasn't expecting this.
If we're racing. That's the wrong side. Where's the other way?
With that, the 2022-2023 Needham High School Rocketry Club season comes to an end.
If you're confused about what just happened with that last launch, me too. You just please state your name and your occupation currently.
My name is Dr. Alexandra Montes McNeil. I am the Assistant Superintendent for Human Resources with the Needham Public Schools.
Okay, and what was your former occupation?
So I have been in education for quite some time, from teacher, science teacher, physics teacher, program director, principal, instructional superintendent. But prior to my work in education, I worked for a short stint at GE Astrospace in aeronautical and astronautical engineering.
So how did you kind of get your start in rocketry?
That's a little longer story. So I am of the generation when there was a lot of excitement about space and exploration. It really started to excite me about the unknown and what is, how do we get there? How do we go into space? Could I go into space someday? So I don't know if I want to date myself, but we landed on the moon the year I was born. So, so I think that it was in the stars, as they say, that I would have an interest in this area.
Why do you think the term rocket science is so intimidating to some people?
That's a good question, because that is the joke. Oh, what are you know? Are you smart like a rocket scientist? I don't know. I think the idea, well, I have some thoughts. I think the idea of going into space is so foreign for folks. I think people find it intimidating. It's another exploration, like deep sea exploration. For me, is the way that I view it. So I just think that people can't imagine themselves necessarily doing that work, and therefore they find it intimidating.
Yeah. So what would you say to a young person who is pursuing this field or passion to kind of like encourage them to keep going?
Well, I think there's a lot of opportunity right now. I would say that I have seen the ebbs and flows of interest in this area, a resurging field, and there's lots of opportunities to explore that curiosity and make money doing it. So I think that there is a great opportunity for folks to go into this area and be successful, whatever that means to that person. I think you need to explore your passions. I think that you should be happy in what you do, and I hope people will consider this as a potential venue for future study and future work life. All right?
Thank you.
Thank you.
We ended up submitting 2 launches worth about 200 points. We did not qualify for nationals. But never before had a Needham Rocketry Club season actually successfully submitted scores to TARC, so technically it was the best season in the history of the Rocketry Club. And think back to the course of this documentary. In my opinion, sure, the Rocketry Club is about the rockets, but I think it's actually more so about the club. That's why I believe this season was a success. And who knows, this season still leaves room for improvement. Maybe in the distant future, some kid not too different from the ones you were looking at will see this and decide to reboot the NHS Rocketry Club for one more season. And I have some good news. The recruitment process has already started.
There's a student who's doing a documentary on the Needham High School's Rocketry Club, which is
super cool.
Over the year, with the pandemic and stuff, it's losing some of the students being in the club. And in that vein, she was wondering if you could share any kind of message or inspiration or why you think it's cool to be in the Needham Rocketry Club, why they should just maybe keep going with it.
Yeah, well, first of all, of course, rockets are cool. I mean, whenever you can light something and then it does something amazing, like fly up into, up like hundreds of feet above you, that's pretty cool. Like, how does it happen? And it makes you wonder, like, how does that happen? I mean, it's not just like lighting a match, it's something different. It's like there's science to it, there's a little bit of architecture to it, and it makes you think about, like, wow, if I could do that, what else can I do? So it makes things limitless, right? So the Rocketry Club is just like sort of a medium to get kids interested in STEM, and why not? So I hope you guys join it when you get to high school.
Awesome. Do you guys think they should join?
Yeah.
Rockets are cool.
They are.
Rockets are cool. There we go. All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching and giving your time to this weird interest of mine. This is Jack Nerney for the Needham High School Rocketry Club, signing off.
Is directly proportional to downward velocity, right?
Yeah.
And so, in practice, the way we can use this is we know the proper way to trim a parachute is to take the surface. This is
I'm thinking the insanity film.
Oh my gosh.
We're slowly filming the documenting of Ben going insane.
Andrew, I'm bringing this to.
You're gonna bring that to Toba?
We're gonna try. I feel like this is.
Oh! What's going on?
I'm